Good morning once again, everybody. So, we are going to focus on how to live your life at this point. Okay. Now, given I can't necessarily tell you how to live your life, but this is really the only way to do it now um, that has any kind of real merit because, as we can see, as we all see, stability is dead. All right. It's dead. The old cultural expectations, the old markers of success in life, that's all gone. It's all gone. Without stability, there's no planning. Without planning, there's no grand architecture, grand design for a future. It is what it is. Every system that could be abused so a handful of people could make another couple million, couple billion, so they can get a new yacht again. Every system that could be abused has been abused. Now, one thing in particular to note, a lot of people who've been complaining about AI and what was it, private equity, because I know I've talked about both. Well, as it so happens, quite a few people, investors, boomers, have been trying to pull their money out of the retirement accounts. What if the retirement account's been pumping money into these things? Okay, so for every dollar in return you were getting, you ended up paying a dollar for your power bill and a dollar in fees and penalties. All right, it is what it is. The financial system's kind of falling apart. Not kind of, it is. It's falling apart in multiple ways, and as it so happens, by pissing off the entire planet, and it's natural, it had to happen at some point, because a Keynesian model like ours couldn't go on forever. But we can't export the inflation anymore, and the only way to quote unquote save the system is to put money in people's hands, especially with all the automation, all the offshoring. Uh, Without a UBI, you're not going to have a functioning economy. All right, it is what it is. Touching back on the one data points, one franchisee losing 16 different Mickey D's franchises in one go. All right, because his he lost the ability to repay. His sales volumes collapsed. It's just like, yep, yep. That's how the economy is really functioning. That's what's really going on. All right. When you can't make money slinging junk ass fast food, it is what it is. That's offensive to McDonald's corporate. McDonald's corporate won't even eat their own goddamn food. I don't care. I don't care what you guys have to say. All right. Is the worst part of that too is he did a second video and just parked it in the side of his cheek, and it's just like, you know, when you refuse to actually swallow the shit that you're feeding other people, um, quick thing, you realize how bad that looks, right? You realize how fucking horrible that looks. You know something we don't know. Good God. Anyway, on to the point of how to actually live your fucking life now. All right. Outside of doing a reasonable amount of prepping, um, you just got to live in the moment. All right. This is pretty much what the deal is now, and the kids have adapted to it. Although a lot of them are also complaining about terrible finances, and the majority of them put themselves in that position, but it is what it is. You do not want to be, especially with the death of the financial system and the end of stability, in this model at least. You do not want to be the guy who gave all of his best years working for the company. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. Honestly, I'm being straight up with you. If you cannot have to work full time, don't work full time. All right. Fuck the overtime, fuck 80 hours. Like, if you can find a way to get by on part time wages, do it. Do it. Because the extra 20 hours of your life that you have back, or 10 hours, assuming it was you ended up with a 30-hour schedule, um, the extra free time is going to give you the opportunity to do things that will actually benefit you more in the long run than just grinding away to try to prop up these now tipping into failing companies. All right. It's the thing. People for the longest time, but it especially picked up after COVID, they are, with the cost of participation going up, especially, people are just going week to week buying somas. They buy little bits and bobs, they buy junk. I'm no different. I've done the same thing. Right? I've done the exact same thing. Little bobs, baubles, just random bits of junk. Maybe it's a $60 Rubik's Cube. Doesn't particularly matter. All right, just little things to try to reward themselves, microdosing the dopamine hit from shopping. Um, yeah, that's going away now too. But it's the thing. People have been able to get by with, especially the younger generations, with little somas like that. And it's just not enough anymore. The system's too unstable, stresses are too high. You have to find a way to engineer your life around the idea of working 20 hours a week, and that's it. Okay. Which means you got to do a lot more for yourself. All right. You have to cut your living costs down. Transportation, especially for the middle class, transportation is a big one. All right. The thing that kills people who were get the thing that killed people who were going into the middle class, and at least in terms of their finances, it was always cars. It was always cars because they try to keep up with the Joneses, they try to keep up appearances. They have the nice job, they reward themselves by signing up for a very expensive piece of shit car, and boom, within 5 years they have to get another and another and another, and they end up on the trade-in treadmill. All right, it's not worth it. Get an old car that you can fix yourself. All right, you're gonna need it. All right, if you can, ideally you want to start going more Thailandy style. You want to start relying on Vespa like scooters. Eh, eh, Scooters, mopeds, close enough. Vespa like mopeds, light bikes, street legal enduros, that kind of thing. You want to try to minimize all of your costs going forward and try to do the best you can to try to work as few hours as possible. All right. Unless you specifically need to get some preps in order, something like that. Don't work your ass off for this system. It's not going to reward you. All right. In fact, it's going to punish you unless you're spending every single cent the second you make it. All right. But the idea of retirement, it's toast. The fact that so many people are now trying to pull their cash out of all these funds that were propping up the private equity, the private credit bubble, for instance, is completely fucking imploding on itself. And of course, the smart money is, well, smart money got out a while ago, but the lesser smart money is now flooding the exits, and a lot of these funds are capping redemptions. So you're trapped. You're stuck in for the long haul, essentially. You are going to be eating losses if the current circumstance continues. Anyway, Of course, not financial advice. Anyway, you got to embrace minimalism. You got to start living as cheaply as possible. All right. If you want to at least have, because this is the thing, people have been brainwashed and locked into this idea that they, work essentially all of their good fucking years. They work their entire lives up until they hit 65, and then magically they get to kick their feet up, and then at that point, yeah, you might have the money, but you're old and you're tired. All right. You've got health problems, and your golden years are pretty much shit. They're pretty much shit. All right. Maybe not for the boomers who get to go on Viking cruises constantly, but you work your ass off, and in the end, especially with all the inflation prior and at the rates we see it now, um, it's shit. It's shit. You should be living your life, taking a lot more breaks. All right. You should be. All right. Because retirement's dead now, especially, but well, maybe for the majority, a select few may still be able to legit retire, but you have to start living your life as if it actually matters for the first 65 years. Okay? You have to live your life like it actually matters. Don't just grind it away for the companies. All right. Assuming you can even find jobs with a lot of these companies because they're blowing smoke up quite a few people's asses right now. But especially with the oil shock now. Anyway. La 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 la. Give me just a moment. Yeah. So you have anywhere coming out of high school, you have 62 to 42 years of life ahead of you based on an expectancy of maybe 82. Okay. 80-ish at the very least. Um, Now, given living to 82 years old isn't exactly, ain't exactly a given. Long-term health has been declining. Age expectancy, survival rates have been dropping, mostly because the food is faker, the healthcare is getting worse, and quality isn't just hard to find, but when you do find it, it's sparse in quantity as well. All right, trying to find anything good or worth what whatever company or organization wants to charge for it. When you do find quality, you're getting a sliver of quality. All right, trying to find a concentration of quality in anything in particular is increasingly harder and harder to do. All right? But the system lied to every generation to keep you in debt slavery. That's the thing. Keynesianism was built around this. All right. The more they get you on the treadmill, the more they can just work you and work you and work you. And yeah, you got the nice car. Yeah, you got the nice house. Yeah, you got the nice toys. And you never get to fucking use them for anything fun. All right. It's working back, working back, working back, working back, working back. Chill, chill. Working back 5 more times. Chill 2 more times. All right. It's the thing. You have to break out of, at least when it comes to the older generations, my generation, all the way up. Well, the boomers don't need any help with this one. You need to start living your lives a lot more relaxed. All right. Stop chasing after the stupid shit. Don't, again, not financial advice. Don't build your life around the idea that you're going to be able to retire one day. All right. Do not commit to egregious fucking loans for cars. All right. That you're not going to be able to maintain as the parts supplies decline. All right, as it gets harder to find the shit that you need to fix it. Okay. Um, it is the thing. Ideally, you want to get two wheels. All right, two wheels where you can. I know up north it's snowy and it's shitty. I get it. All right, but it is the thing. Fuck this bullshit. We gotta let it rot. All right, the entire system has banked on the idea that we are going to keep putting into it when it gives us largely nothing back in return. All right, it gives us false promises, false hope, but it can't come through on anything because you can't print value. All right, and so much value has been extracted from the system and sent to the hands of a very small few or has been exported out of the country. Like, perfect example of value, sending all of the factories to China and all of the materials and tools to make anything and all the skills going away as time progresses. Yeah, it's a thing. Live your life like it actually fucking matters. Don't wait till you're 65. All right. Especially because when you get to 65, they're going to tell you that the new retirement age is whenever you die. Okay. Like they'll move it up to 70, then 75, then 80. The only way the Social Security originally, in its conception, the only way that it would work is essentially functioning as a grand lottery system. So if somehow you held on, you'd get a check. All right. It wasn't designed to, pay for all of the worldly needs and desires of the world's largest generation demographic. It wasn't built for that. It was built to serve as a lottery for those who were genetically gifted to live long lives. All right. Live your life like it matters. Go ahead, take the trips. All right. Take the trips. Enjoy yourself, at least within reason. Enjoy your fucking life while you can. Because considering the clusterfuck that we're now in the Middle East, um, you never know when it's going to end. All right. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys next time.